I am AB from truelegalmedia.com. We publish an online magazine. What we do is we try to use stories of inspirational people to inspire others to improve the relationship between men and women. And we do law review, legal review, bring legislation to people and review some cases. But what we're trying to do in essence is just to make sure that we use the story of people out there to inspire other people in the world, who can do something better for themselves. Mr. Bernard, can you please introduce yourself to our readers?
Thank you so much for inviting me for the interview. My name is Bernard Chiguvare. I am from Zimbabwe. I am 50 years old. Due to economic hardships in Zimbabwe, I decided I should come down to South Africa to let my kids go to school. Then I landed in Cape Town. I thought things were rosy. From the experience I heard from other people, I thought I was going to get things easy, but that was unfortunately the case. I had to end up being somebody's housekeeper. There on that guy actually told me, Bernard, I'm not going to employ you. There is no employment here, but make your own leads. That word, lead, actually set a certain goal behind me. Now, what I decided to do then thereafter was to look for garden work, which I thought would push me out of the mercy which was following me.
Okay, so you are a writer. How and when did you start writing? Did you start writing back in Zimbabwe or you started here in Cape Town?
Writing, I loved writing, but then in Zimbabwe, it seems by that time there were a lot of publications. Now, and the way to go about it, the way to go into writing, I didn't know that, but I just loved it, but I didn't have anyone to inspire me, anyone to take me to that level of writing. Now, when I came to South Africa, doing all my work, my dirty work, I call it dirty work because I used to work in the office, at the Registrar General's office in Zimbabwe. I'd worked there for almost 10 years. Now, when I was doing my work, I met this sales director of a company, of a media company. Now, because I had this mind of trying to get into writing, when he gave me his only business card, I could see there was something written about the media. Then I thought I should be courageous enough and ask the man. I asked him, he told me, yes, he's into writing.
Okay. So what exactly do you write about? How will you classify your writing?
I usually write about inspirational stories which would take people to the next level, stories that would let people just not to sit down and look to the government or look to other people to help them, yet they can help themselves.
So what did you study at the university or higher institution? Have you always wanted to become a writer, or is it something that happened to you by an accident?
You see, this way of thinking of writing, I loved writing, but I didn't have anybody to inspire me or to get me to the level of writing.
So like you didn't have a role model growing up to know that you could become a writer, like somebody to look up to. Is that what you're saying?
No. Okay, come again, sorry.
Like you didn't have a role model growing up who was a writer that you could look up to.
Yes, I didn't have anybody who could inspire me to do the writing.
Okay. Yes. So what were your dreams growing up as a child? What did you want to become?
Yeah, I wanted to be an accountant. I thought there was quick money there.
Okay. So what else would you be doing if you were not writing or doing gardening now?
I would have much into this accounting business.
Okay, so what are some of the challenges that you face as a writer or the gardening work that you do living in South Africa, and what was your experience like back in Zimbabwe?
Writing, you see, in South Africa, there is a lot of things. The first thing is there is language barrier. You don't only like to interview people who understand English, but you also like to interview people who understand the Xhosa, Zulu and the like. But then I also cannot speak those languages. That's my first hurdle.
Okay.
The second hurdle is there are people who look down upon you. Maybe it's because of the skin, I don't know.
Okay.
Because some of them to go to the extent of saying, do you think you can write something which can be read by the public? Are you going to write it in your mother tongue and then the editors do the translation? But fortunately, I was then the one who answered those questions. My daughter answered that question. She said, do you know what? You can read what you write. Because I do my writing on bed. I don't have an office. I do my writing on the bed.
Okay.
Blankets surrounding me.
Okay.
And the other challenge is financial constraints. I'm committing my resources with my kids. But however, I have to struggle to do that. There's nothing going to stop me from doing that.
Okay. So what, in your opinion, should the government do to help women to achieve or reach their full potential in South Africa, now that you live in South Africa?
I feel government should establish more forums that encompass the children, that encompass some institutions and other people, people who can who are well known in this sphere of bringing people into real life. If the government brings in this type of I want to say, if the government brings this type of the forum, I think that will help people air out their own views.
So you want to see more interaction between
Yes.
government and the people?
Yes,
you know what will work or something like that?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Can you name a person who has had a tremendous impact on you as an expert, maybe in the field of writing or the work you were doing in Zimbabwe, or maybe in any other field?
Yeah, there are two people, in fact. The first person was the sales director of the Cape Media. I didn't understand. I thought this white guy won't accept me into writing. But then he said, I'm the sales director of this company. What I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to an editor, and then you take it from there. He introduced me to the editor, David Mwanambuya, the editor of the Black Business Quarterly magazine. That guy inspired me very much. He told me, he asked me first time to write any story which I would like. I did the writing, but I wrote a story about gardening. Because I'd seen a lady who we had a garden company. I'd worked for that lady, I think it's for a day. But I didn't want to join her because I said, no, I've got my own clients, please. Let me do my own thing. And then David told me, Bernard, write a story. I wrote the story, and then he was pleased with the story. From there on, he asked me if I could polish up my writing skills using the Writers Bureau of UK. He recommended the Writers Bureau of UK to start through that, and then I'm doing that. Whenever I have an idea, I always ask him. We are almost brothers.
Wouldn't you say you're contradicting yourself? Before you say that sometimes you think the color of your skin counts against you, but here you go, you're praising a white man who's done something for you. So how do you differentiate the two? Are you saying it's just a case of some people being bad? It's not just like all the whites are bad, or do you think all
Yeah, it's not a case of all the whites are bad. Some are good, some are bad. Those who are bad, they are extremely bad because they don't actually want to entertain you. Because at times when I move around, because I move around with my own machines, petrol, lawnmower, the weed eater, brooms. But when you move around and then you knock at their doors trying to find work, they actually, some of them actually tell you, please go away. And I feel that type of language is not very good.
Okay, so what are the most important decisions you've ever made in your personal and professional life?
Come again?
What are the most important decisions you've made?
Oh, yes. You see, in life, I've made the decision that I should not succumb to any negative thinking. I feel I should every time go. I think I should always go ahead with whatever I want to do. Those are some of the decisions I believe I mustn't succumb to any failure. That's what I believe.
So, which is the most important to your life? Mission, core values, vision, or profit, or all of the above?
Profit, you see, is not very important. It's not all about profit. It's about how you take life and how you look at it. I usually think the mission, your values, and your vision will take you somewhere up. Maybe at last, then you can talk of the profit, but that's the last thing.
Okay. So what would you say to young South Africans, especially young girls who are at a crossroads regarding the choice of a career path? Would you say to young girls, forget rich men today and study because tomorrow will be better?
Yeah, to the young South Africans, I would say, hey, the world is wide, and the world is full of interesting things. But for you to get interested, much interested, to get the world, for the world to welcome you, get your books first. And then later on, you will enjoy. It's out there, it's not joy, it's not all joy you are promised by people. People always promise you, there is good life, there is this, there is nothing like that. There is such things when you struggle first.
So what is the one thing you think South Africans or Africans listening to your interview can take from your life that can help them going forward? What lesson can they take from you?
Never stop reading. That's my first thing to the young generation. Never stop reading. Wherever you are, no matter you are employed as a gardener, no matter you are employed as a waiter, don't stop there. There is something waiting for you as long as you have a vision.
What is your definition of a perfect success? What does it mean to be happy and fulfilled?
I believe there is nothing to me like perfect success, but I hope if there is perfect success, it means that somebody has has cleared a bit of hurdles in life. And maybe to be happy, it's you have achieved something.
Okay. Have you achieved success, happiness, and are you fulfilled? Would you say you're fulfilled?
At the moment, I haven't achieved anything. I'm still at the grassroots because my children. Remember, I've got 6 children. The first one is a motor mechanic. He's still doing his course in Zimbabwe. The second one is a daughter. She is at the UCT. She's doing LLB. The other one are twin girls, and they are the other twin is doing teaching. Is just under teacher training course. So,
don't you consider that success? Don't you count your success among the good things you're doing for your kids?
I want to see them. I want to see them.
There are some parents who don't even do what you're doing and they consider themselves doing quite well. I think you're quite a successful man. Seeing what you do, the kind of work you do, and you are able to send your kids to the high institution. Without bursary. And you are the one paying their fees and all that?
Yes, I'm the one paying, but then I'm struggling to make them do that. Why I say I'm not yet successful, because I want to see them all working here and there. Myself also visiting them, seeing what they are also doing.
Finally, how do you balance work and other activities like your family?
You see, with my family, I had to sit down to manage my time. I told them, please, for us to get bread on the table, let's have a time to chat, to socialize, but thereon, let me do my things. Because usually we chat from around 6 up to around 8 o'clock, and then I go to sleep. I start my only serious business around 12 o'clock till morning, and then I go to work.
Okay, final word of inspiration to men. What would you say would be, in your opinion, how men should relate with women, especially with the experience in South Africa? And what do you think that kind of the behavior of a man can improve the relationship we have with women, be it our sisters, mothers, wives, girlfriends, or colleagues?
Yeah, with men, I believe men should change their mindset. Climate changes, technology changes, and why not men? Why shouldn't we change our mindset? Let's give these women their chance. One day or the other, they may look champions. You see, today's world, we can all now recognize there are some women presidents. There are some women running heads of certain ministries or running very big institutions in the world. We have got our AU women, Ngosana Zuma. She's a woman, but she's running that institution. That's a very big institution in Africa. So I would say men give this other gender their chance. Let's see, they can prove themselves if we give them enough platform to do that.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bernard, for your time. This is the end of the interview. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Okay.